Eric here. I've got Ty Zen over here, most awesome trader coach. We've got flashing Bitcoin all over the place. I can't keep him to keep his jacket closed. Keeps popping open. And wanted to answer some questions. Now, I've received personally a lot of questions, and I'm sure Ty's received it since he's wearing the Bitcoin shirt all the time, from friends, from family members, and from you, Ty, from students, that they ask, hey, what is this Bitcoin, this Ethereum, this cryptocurrency thing? Is it risky to invest in altcoins? Is it a risky investment?
My answer to that is very simple. First of all, if you are living under a bridge, you have no home, you have no car, you have no clothes, and you barely have enough money to pay your rent this month or next month, then I would say that investing in Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, real estate, the futures market, the stock market, the currency market, or anything is extremely, extremely risky. However, if you are single and you do not have a wife or kids or even a girlfriend, right? And you have about, I would say for a single individual, if you have 3 to 4 months worth of savings put away to pay all your bills and your expenses every month, then for me it's worth it to invest into the stock market, into cryptocurrencies, into Bitcoin, or anything that allows your money to grow and work for you without you having to clock in and work. Okay, so if you are married, I would say make sure you have like 6 months or 12 months worth of living expenses.
You got more to consider in terms of what kind of living expenses
exactly.
you have to save up. You have to save up for 2 people or children or what have you.
Yeah, so for example, Eric is single, right? He has a girlfriend.
There we go.
I consider having a girlfriend single because you don't have any kids to take care of, okay? So if you...
I come out here and I take care of you, Ty. It's a full-time job.
Eric is getting romantic right there, but he's making me blush on camera. But anyway, guys, if for example, like when I have kids, when I had my first, when I first had kids, I had 6 months worth of living expenses, and then I would take a look into investing into the stock market and cryptocurrencies and all that other stuff. And then now that I have 2 kids and I've had like 3 heart attacks already in my life, then the risk is a lot higher.
That cushion needs to be a little bit bigger.
So I need to have a bigger living cushion. So I have like 12 months worth of living expenses put away, so that in case something happens to me, I can pay all my bills for the next 12 months. Okay.
So that's one factor. Whether or not you can afford to take the risk as far as trading in the alt currencies, the cryptocurrency markets, because it is risky. And I mean, there is no way to eliminate that risk. But that brings me to a very important second factor to consider: the education that you have. How educated are you in terms of what it is you're investing in, whether it's real estate, whether it's the cryptocurrency market, things like that. If you're going into it with zero education, understanding of how it works, and you're just throwing money at something and hoping some of it comes back at you, then guess what? You're going to have a hard time. So you need to invest in your own education. Spend some time and watch as much content and material about that can educate you as possible. Take some classes, sign up with a mentor, do whatever you can. Because that's something that I take very seriously, is my own education. And it would not make sense to me, because let's just take the stock market for example. The stock market is a place where all the big banks, all the major investing sites, they all are major players there. And I like to think of those major players as guys with pockets. Right? They've got deep pockets. And their job is just to take the money from your pocket and put it in their pockets. So if you're throwing money at the stock market, you're throwing money at all this stuff, then and hoping that some of it's going to land back into your pocket by luck, then you're taking on a whole lot of risk. And I personally believe that that's a really, really dumb way to invest. So you are responsible. You have to take more responsibility by investing in your education. And what that will do, the more you get education, the lower your risk will be when you start making these investments.
I mean, like if someone that is like a lot of young people gravitate, a lot of young people that are technologically savvy, that know how to use a computer, use the internet and stuff, the millennials, right? Or I don't know, is it the millennials or the Generation X?
I'm Gen X, so I'd go with somewhere between Gen X and the millennials.
Okay, so whichever one is the most current generation. I always forget.
You youngins out there.
Yeah. If you're young, you're a teenager, you're a college student, you live with your parents, and you work part-time, you don't have to worry about starving or not having a place to live. By all means, invest. Why not? You got nothing to lose, you know? Because, I mean, look, if you would have, I have a friend, he invested like a few $1,000s in the beginning of 2013. He invested a few $1,000s into Bitcoin, made a bunch of money real quick, and then he took that and invested that into Litecoin and made a ton of money, and took that and then invested into back into Bitcoin again when it ran up to like 1,000 and something.
Yeah.
And you know, he made like over $500,000 on it. So
well, was this guy uneducated?
No, he was educated, but you know, like.
I mean, in the cryptocurrency market.
Yeah. He's very educated in the cryptocurrency market and stuff like that. But the risk, just remember this, guys. Whenever you invest in anything, whether it's stocks, currencies, futures, oils, and commodities, or into options or into cryptocurrencies, the risk is always with the individual. It's never, ever with the stock, the commodity, the currency, or the cryptocurrency. It's never. It's always the individual. And you know, like Eric was talking about being educated about trading and investing, I would say that people always ask me all the time, how long did it take me to learn how to trade, and how much money did I spend or to learn how to trade? First of all, how long it took who cares? If it took me a year, 2 years, 5 years, who cares? The fact is, I know how to trade, I know how to invest my money now, I know how to make my money grow and work for me. That's all that matters. If it took you a year, 5 years, or 10 years, it's completely irrelevant. That's like asking how long did it take you to learn how to speak German, or how long did it take me to learn to speak Spanish? Who cares? Once you learn it, no one can ever take your ability to speak German away from you, correct?
Correct.
Exactly.
Natürlich.
Yeah, and it's the same thing, you know. I know I've invested over probably close to $100,000 in US dollars to learn how to trade and how to invest in the markets. And I know you've invested over $10,000 yourself. And
I've invested over $30,000.
Yeah, the $30,000 yourself. And I know that Eric would have invested more in himself, but he didn't. He had a friend that already invested it, and he just picked my brain for it.
I took a little bit of a shortcut.
Yeah, he took a shortcut, guys. You know, so if you don't learn, then get a friend that knows, and then learn from them. So that's what I would say, guys. But it always boils down to, you know, to you eliminating the risk. And people always ask me all the time, you know, like, was it worth it for you to invest all that money to learn how to trade and invest in the markets? And the answer is 100% yes. I would do it all over again, because I have made back way more than that. You know, knowing how to trade and knowing how to invest has paid me back way more than that. Well, paid me way more than what I put in. So anytime I put in $1 and I can get $1.50 back or $2 back, I'm always going to do it.
I feel the same way about martial arts.
Yeah. So I hopefully, guys, that answers your question of whether or not Bitcoin, investing in Bitcoins or cryptocurrencies is risky, or if it's safe or not. And the answer is yes and no. If you don't know anything about Bitcoins and you don't know anything about cryptocurrencies, then investing in it and trading it is extremely risky, and you should not be doing it. However, if you understand how to trade and you understand how to control your risk, you know how to take a small loss and get out whenever the price goes against you, and you know when to hold on to it and let it run in your favor so that you can get big profits, right? Then I would say that no, it's not risky, okay? Here's the other thing too, guys, that I want to share with you, right? When you go to, let's say that the average, you know, I don't know, most of my friends and most of our friends, when they go, we both, Eric lives in Austin, Texas, and I used to live there for many years, and they have one of the most popular universities in America there, called the University of Texas at Austin, in the city of Austin. And at the University of Texas, most of our friends that go to school there, they probably invest over $50,000 US dollars all the way up to $100,000 US dollars to go to school there. And so when they invest that and they come out, there's no guarantee that they're going to get a job. There's no guarantee that they're going to make that money back. And even, you know, a lot of the people that we know, when they come out, they usually make back about $50,000 or $60,000 a year. In cryptocurrencies, when you invest in it, right? Like, for example, like, I mean, do you mind if I share with them what you invested into like Ethereum?
Sure.
Okay, so Eric and I invested about $3,000 each in US dollars into Ethereum. We bought in with 5 Bitcoins during the IPO, and now it's gone up to, like, I don't know, 100 something Bitcoins, like 140 or something like that as we're speaking. And so what happens is this, is that nowhere else in the world are you going to get a 1,200, 1,500% return on your money. Nowhere. There is nowhere in the futures and commodities market. There's nowhere in the stock market. There's nowhere in the options market. In any market that you can risk, you know, a few dollars and make 1,200, 1,500% back on your money. There's nowhere that is available. So
now,
for me,
there are a few people out there that might say, $3,000, something like that. That might not be a huge investment. That might not be a huge risk. For other people, that might be a huge risk. That might be all your savings. So take that into account. That at the time we were both in positions where, one, that was not a huge financial risk for us. We could, if we lost it, it'd be fine. But also the pre-sale ethers, you didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know if Vitalik was going to just take the money and run. We didn't know what was going to happen, right? All we knew is all the news, all the intel that we could get, that we could gather, and the promise for us plus our contacts. It just gave us enough confidence to make that investment and to take that risk. So there was a risk in the pre-sale ethers because we didn't see anything as far as a market or as far as any action with Ethereum for another year after making that investment before the market was released. So that was a pretty good investment for us, even though it might not have been $10,000, $20,000.
All right, so hopefully guys, this video will help you guys explain more about the risk of investing into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you pause for a moment and hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to our channel already. Second, we are planning on holding some, we occasionally do some live webinars on Google Hangout and the YouTube live streams. Okay, we're still trying to figure all that stuff out, how to do it efficiently. So if you guys want to join us on those events, make sure that you look below this video and visit our site. And we have links there to where you can enter your name and email address, and we will notify you whenever we have these live events, and you can join us. It'll be a great event and a webinars event, and you guys can join us and ask the questions live, and we'll help you guys the best way that we can. We struggle to learn how to trade and invest in the markets, guys, and we don't want to see other people lose a ton of money doing that. And we also enjoy, you know, beating the man, you know, at his own game, and bringing Wall Street back to Main Street, bringing power back to the people, you know, taking power away from the 1% on Wall Street and bringing it back to the people on Main Street, guys. So thanks for watching this video. Make sure you share it with other friends, relatives, co-workers, and fellow investors that are interested in investing in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys in a future video.